Welcome to Culture Shift with Duda Penteado, the archivist. I have here a very, very special guest here. Now, he's physically now, but he's going to become virtual at one point, right? Jorge.
Hey,
Hey, listen, we've been talking about a long time you coming on the show, and you're finally here.
yeah, what's a bit
And you
finally here?
physically here. That's what
That's
it
a good
matters,
question.
right? Awesome. Let's begin. Let me ask something. I know you work with Oscar,
Yeah.
in your entertainment business and
hmm
branding and marketing, but we're going to talk a little bit about your other part of you as a producer and a creator, right?
All right.
Let's introduce yourself and then let's begin when you develop your passion for music.
All right. So my name is Jorge Torres. My artist name is Skyler. I'm a Vocaloid producer. It basically means I make music with a software that's called Vocaloid. It's basically when you take a bunch of pre-recorded voice notes from voice providers, and the software itself, depending how you code it, it starts generating vocals. So it's a very old technology. It's around, I think, it was created around 2000 something. Like, kind of crazy. I'm calling it all. It's the year 2000.
2000? So we're
Yeah,
talking about 26 years now.
I know that's crazy to say. I was born in '99, but now that you mention it, yeah, it feels like it's been a while. So it's a very old technology. A lot of people confuse it with AI because it's something very new. You can do similar stuff with AI, but yeah, like vocal production has been around for a while. How did I start music? I remember trying to play guitar when I was 6 years old. I think that's the first memory that I have me trying to make music, and of course I sucked and everybody made fun of me, but in a cute way because I was a kid. But I will say that was my first introduction to music. I saw my cousins playing guitar and
Let,
stuff,
let
and I
me
just
just,
wanted to be
I'm
like
sorry,
that.
put this out of we're here in the US or we're in
Oh, I was in Ecuador
Ecuador.
because
Okay,
yeah. So
so
I came here around 2014. I was like 16 years old, 15 years
16
old.
years old.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's been
So
almost
you
10 years.
begin your music journey in Ecuador.
Yeah.
And what was the influences around you?
So when I was in Ecuador, it was mainly just seeing my cousin and my brother making music and just looking at them, and I was like, oh wow, I kind of want to be like. I actually looked up to them a lot because of that, because I thought they were so cool when they were like playing guitar and making these crazy kind of like parties happen. I mean, not really parties, more like family gatherings, and they were playing. I was like, oh wow, I kind of want to be like that. So, and it's kind of different to what I do now because it's not like an instrumentalist. Most of the time, I'm a producer. But it's funny because I know that a lot of people, when they are into music, they start in a moment like that, right? They see somebody playing or they hear one song and they're like, "Phew."
So let's put the piece together. So you start music there, the influences your country, your family, and then finally move to the US.
Yeah.
Where did you where did you go to when you came to the US? New York area?
Yep. I moved to West New York in the New York area.
Mm.
That's here in Jersey. And not long after I moved here, I actually went to my first live concert. And I think that was actually a very important moment for me because the first time I saw live music at that level that I'd never seen before,
Who
that
was
moment,
playing? Who was playing?
oh, it's my favorite band. It's called Pierce the Veil. They play at the, I forgot the name of the venue. It was in New York around Central Park, I think it was. Well, whatever. But
Mm.
I remember being there and being in line for like 3 hours and not really knowing what to expect. And I went to that concert. I was like, wow, I really want to do this. Like, I don't know how or what I'm going to do to be a musician, but I really want to be a musician. Like, I remember at that point, I didn't even know how to play an instrument.
So did you go to music school? What happened after?
So that happened when I was in high school.
Mm.
And in that moment, I wanted to make music, and I wanted to see my options because I was really expected to go to college, right? And I'm like, can you go to college for music? And it
Mm.
turns out you actually can.
True.
So like that idea wasn't in my head until I actually went and researched it. So I found this program here in Pramusburg Community College, and that's where I started doing college for music production. For 2 years, I was there doing music production. Then I transferred here to Jersey City, to NGCU, and I did music business, like a music business
Oh
degree.
wow, do music business.
Mhm.
And I guess I'm gonna assume that because you study music business, then you got connected with Oscar. Tell me that
That's
story.
actually how I met Oscar. So, for graduating into the program, you do need to get some sort of internship. And I went to the career department. They help you find internships, and that's how I met Oscar. And it's kind of cool because we've been working together since then. It's been like 5 years,
5 years.
almost 5 years.
And
Yeah.
you do marketing, production.
I do mainly digital marketing, so like running ads for artists, running ads for musicians, everything that's digital, basically. How to construct digital systems for artists to contact their audience, and things like that. Even the visual, the social media side of things.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
let's cross to what you're doing right now because this is kind of new territory for me. Right?
For a lot of people.
Tell me the name of the. Now you guys finished working in a whole convention, right?
Yeah.
Tell us the
so-
name and what's about and what's gonna happen in this event.
All right. So, like I was chatting with you at the beginning, me for making this music, I use something that's called Vocaloid. The Vocaloid is a software, like I said, to help you code vocals. So there's no human involved in the process of actually singing. It's more like me as a producer, I code each one of the words that are gonna be said in the program.
So in
Comes
other
up with
words, do
vocals.
you write? Can I say help me here? You kind of code or you write the lyrics?
Yeah. So like
And then
the only computer part is the singer. Let's say like I write the music, I compose, I do all the instruments, I do absolutely everything from top to bottom. And the thing is like, since I always wanted to do music, I always struggle finding people to do music with, and that's why it drove me to this direction. So I don't have a singer. I mean I sing a little bit, but I don't have like a singer voice that I could like put in a record. So that's why I opted for this alternative, which is having a virtual character that's gonna sing for you. And I'm also involved in the process of generating those vocals because I manually create them, I code them. It's a process called tuning. It's when you take notes and you put words in the program. And it's very cool because you can edit the emotion of each one of the notes. So it's not like you just put lyrics, notes, and that's it. No, it's a whole crazy process. Like creating a song takes me, just the vocals, it takes me like 10, 20 hours. So the convention is based on the culture around this music genre. So the Vocaloid music
you mean
genre.
so let me I'm digesting. It's so new for me and I enjoy because I should love to speak with young voices and new things and technology. Something big in our podcast we always cover. So I thought you were the perfect guy to help us to navigate through this. If I'm a Vocaloid, it means that I'm using that program.
You will be a
And
Vocaloid
I'm
producer.
coding things and making music through Vocaloid.
So you will be a Vocaloid producer. Vocaloid will be the character.
So I need to create a character.
Correct. So how it works is like the Vocaloid software already have voice banks, which are characters.
So you have several then, or you have one of them? How does that work?
So the program, you can license characters from their singing voice and their image. So there's the most popular one is called Hatsune Miku. That's basically the one that everybody uses. And you can license the program, and you can license even the image of the character. And when you make music, you can use that character in your music. But I'm doing something different.
So let me ask something. Other people could use the same character?
Yeah. So that's the beauty of this because it's a very community-driven project. Like Hatsune Miku, the artist, the Vocaloid, has thousands of producers all over the world making music for her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I
is
don't own
crazy.
it. Nobody owns it. Well, there's a company that owns it, but everybody licensed it, and it's a very flexible license. So if you go to Hatsune Miku's Spotify page, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different musicians doing music for her. Now, what I'm doing is slightly different. I'm using that voice, but I'm creating my own character that's being voiced by that voice bank.
So let's talk about how you create it and what it'll be about your character.
Yeah, so my character is called Me, and it's voiced by this voice man called Hatsune Miku, which is the one that I was just describing. And I make it in such a way that no one can actually produce it the same way that I do, because I manage the vocal chain in a really specific way. So I use very niche effects that some of them I even made them myself. And my purpose was like, I'm gonna create a Hatsune Miku vocal that's very unique and that nobody can recreate. And thanks to that uniqueness, I'm gonna attach it to a character. It's kind of like my own version of Hatsune Miku, let's call it. And actually, I've never seen anybody doing something like that before. So
when I go to the concert, or if I go to the event, it will be
it will be
performing,
correct.
and other virtual artists will be performing as well.
How these concerts work is people call them holograms, right? You literally have a live band
Exactly.
playing on stage. I mean, it's not a hologram because a hologram is like an actual 3D thing. It's more like a projection that resembles a hologram. And it's amazing. Like, these concerts are very popular in Japan.
They project big, it's little. How does
It's
that work?
human size. So
Human size.
you literally
Okay.
go to a concert venue and the character is there in front of you performing with a band. Like,
And the way they sing and is like
yeah, and
a singer and a band playing is the
Yes,
same kind
correct.
of
it's like a
sound
concert.
projection.
It's a normal concert. People are playing,
Wow.
humans are there playing music. And for a lot of these concerts, the vocals are generated on the spot. It's not even like a recorded vocal. So they have a Vocaloid engine in a computer running those vocals live. So it's actually performing.
So I'm still learning so much here. It's blowing my mind. this
I know
thing.
it's crazy.
So when May goes on the stage, it's like, is she
It's shit, yeah,
dancing,
performing, yeah.
performing, everybody moving, and you're not doing anything. You're just watching. You're not behind the scenes
Nah.
pressing things, right?
So it's
You already pre-called or
It's-
pre-programmed everything, and it's just happening right there.
So the beauty of these concerts is like there's a lot of interaction between humans and computers. So for example,
Is she interacting with the public right there?
she could be interacting with the public.
If
We
I
decided
try to hug her, she'll hug me.
that technology doesn't exist
Not yet,
yet,
not yet.
but I think it's actually very doable if somebody really put a lot of resources into trying to figure it out. Trust me, like, you can have a camera and make the hologram react specific depending what's going on in the camera. But the way it works is like it's dancing from the video. You're actually watching a video, but the video is being captured by a human beforehand. So like motion capture, like they do for the movies.
Yeah.
So somebody actually does the performance. There's gonna be a choreographer involved that's gonna do a performance. There's gonna be a performer. We're gonna record their movements. Then we're gonna hire a different team that's gonna clean up those movements to actually create like a dance routine just for me. And we're gonna project the video into. It's a special type of material that when it hits light, it bends a little bit.
It's like they do those movies in animation, right? They
Yeah,
put
it's very
the
similar.
thing on they put the costume on
Yeah, that's more
the actor
mocap,
moves
yeah.
the human body, and they take that and they animate, and it's the perfect movement.
Yeah, it's the same
kind of
thing.
like that, right?
Correct. You're projecting the video, and
I
you're
understand.
hearing the Vocaloid engine generating vocals in real time.
Wow. So my question, I have a few other questions. One is, how many thousands or hundreds of people are involved in this new, I guess, kind of a concert? I'm gonna call hologram virtual concert. Is that thousands? Because the reason I asked you that, because I was doing research. I'm actually I'm getting ready to develop my Bird of Revelation, the project on the
Yeah, I remember.
Amazonia and I want to do a video game. Because why? Because I realized the video game industry is 10 times bigger than
Oh, it's
Hollywood,
humongous.
and moves 10 times more money than Hollywood. So, and not only that, it's
growing.
interactive, right? When you're watching a movie, you're watching there, you interact in a different way, is your thoughts. But video games, you interact in a deeper level. So I actually want to create a video game that is environmental and people can make the difference, maybe donate to real causes. It's a whole complex thing. I already
That's
created the
very
script in
cool.
my mind. But what I'm going with this conversation is it's a huge community out there. There's a lot of money involved in this.
Yeah.
So how many people are involved and what ages? And it's like a millions. How large is this industry that we're talking about?
So the Vocaloid industry, or the virtual synthesis singer industry, it's very related to the Japanese anime industry. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, of course.
So that industry right now, anything that's Japanese, it's booming in the US like crazy. A lot of there's like in terms of business, yes, there's a lot of opportunity.
Do you know numbers? I mean, how many millions of kids or I mean,
Wouldn't be able to tell you, but it's humongous. It's one of the fastest growing markets of entertainment in the world. Like I'll tell you, anyone between 25 and 35 are consumers of this media. I'll dare to say that it's around 90% of the people around that age bracket. It's insane.
so in this event you're producing now, right?
Mhm.
What are you expecting to come? 1,000 people, 2,000 people? What do you think?
So the character that I share with you, Hatsune Miku, which is the biggest one right now in this industry, she played a concert last year here at Newark's Prudential Center, and it sold out in like 10 minutes. We're talking the Prudential Center is around 18,000 people. So I remember going
How many say again?
18,000 people. It sold out in 10 minutes. And not
Wow.
only that, so one thing about this fandom that I think is really great is like they love supporting artists. They love supporting creators. So I remember going to that concert, and there were people that didn't even see the concert just because they were in line buying merch.
So let me ask another thing. If I can go physically, can I join the concert virtually?
The one that I was talking just about, Hatsune Miku, they don't do it virtually. I think you can just watch a live stream. But the one that we want to do with Me, we do want to make sure to make it accessible for people that are not going to be physically present.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
amazing.
we were having some discussions trying to see if we can do something with VR. So
that's
yeah,
the way to
we're gonna
go.
make. Oh yeah, and VR is
Now you can
insane.
connect with people all over the world.
Yeah, and all this video game stuff or anime stuff in VR, it's also like a huge industry. It's all interconnected. Like a lot of people that like one of these things, they tend to like the other ones as well.
So let me ask something. For you, how do you think, like, I would say classic musicians, in a sense, they want to perform physically and themselves? Do you think they feel threatened by the situation now? There's competition on holograms and
Oh,
AI, and
well,
then I'm gonna lose my audience. Whatever.
well,
How
for
you feel with
example,
that? Is there's a conflict?
there is, and there isn't. So, like, for example, like what I'm doing with Me, I'm not really replacing any human because I am in, like, I know it sounds weird, but in a way, I am Me, right? Because I'm writing those lyrics. I am creating that music and creating the melody. It's more like an expression of myself, right? But on the other hand, if you are a traditional musician, you really do stuff like, like you're a guitar player or a drum player. You could really be replaced with AI really easily in the next few years, to the point that it's scary because there are these platforms that generate the music from top to bottom, and nobody can distinguish the difference. And they
So,
keep getting better and better.
so you think the fact you were ahead of the game, creating all this holograms, you're already playing the next game, and the people who's
Yeah,
playing music traditionally has more danger to be extinct than what you're doing. That's
kind of.
about.
So like,
Is
I
that what
feel
I'm saying here? Does that make sense to what I'm
yes,
saying?
I know what you're saying. So I think I'm positioning myself in the middle, in which I'm not
Mm.
really letting a computer take full creative control of what I'm doing. Like like these platforms, some of these platforms literally generate a song from top to bottom. Um, I'm like in the middle. Like I'm letting a computer that's heavily, extremely influenced by me, by manual labor, to be the singer of my songs.
Mm.
So like, but that still feels more futuristic than being a traditional musician. So that's what I like so much about this project. It's like,
Mm.
it's right in the middle. Now, on the other hand,
Right.
yeah, there's artists that they feel threatened, like you said, because especially producers, pop producers, hip hop producers, because that's the music that these AIs are trained the most. They can make songs like that extremely easily in one click. And the ethics of the situation are complicated because the people that were the music that they used to train those AIs, the people that made the music, they're not getting paid. Now, just right now, recently, I think one of the platforms teamed up with one record label to kind of give royalties to the songwriters, but most of it is still unlicensed.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
mean,
dangerous.
going back, I think music, a lot of art industry has changed throughout the years in the development of technology. And think about music, obvious concerts and live concerts are always a special thing. Then you're connecting to you to the pop. There's an energy that happens, an
of course.
exchange that happens in a human level, and I think that's very powerful. But musicians made a lot of money selling. That's what we have this year. The whole reason I have this stage here in my
Physical media.
podcast, is like thinking about how technology is changing everything. So you had the vinyl industry, then you had the covers that were collectibles, the sound quality of playing a vinyl, and then when they moved to the
To all
CDs
digital.
and the DVDs, and and now went online, and then and then we went to this Spotify, and all it's
Streaming.
changing,
But
streaming.
you know what's
It's changing
crazy? Like,
how artists can make money, right? And now the next challenge is like we replace everything about music and how music can, I guess, one of the last things that happened was the flood of DJs, right? I mean,
DJs?
DJs, they coming and mixing music of other
DJs.
people,
Yeah.
So we're just talking. I was talking to one of my guests about he worked with Avicii. Avicii was
Yeah.
one of the first guys breaking into the industry, but he was also a creative mind. He was creating music, but he was between both. But then he became so much about now DJing has like huge and I'm like, what happened with the original guys with the band? It was always that.
There's
Now
always
the guy
something
just use
new.
everybody else's music.
Yeah.
And then now we're into the new thing, which is like, hey, we don't need the musician, we just need the maze of life. We need the holograms, right? So
That's crazy.
I'm not sure if this is replacing the other thing, but it's for sure is the other thing that exists now in the space, and there's no coming back.
I know. So, like, the way I'm doing it, I'm not trying to replace anyone, but I know some other people are. Like, for example, there's a lot of artists that all their music is AI and they do represent themselves with a character. And some of them are actually quite popular. So there's different approaches, right? We're using these characters as the faces for our art in a way. But it depends. There's several levels. This is more in the middle, but I do think that in the future we're gonna have more self-autonomous artists, like
Sure, for
that
sure.
are gonna probably not require that much human input, and I think it's
you
gonna be a thing
think-
for sure.
Okay, I have a philosophical question for you. Do you think this virtual artist and the stuff we're creating is gonna help humanity to connect to our humanity, or is gonna give us more distance? What do you think is the outcome of this?
So May has her own Instagram, right? And a lot of people DM her.
Sure.
I wanted to design a system. I actually have some of it, to let me, as an entity trained on my music, be able to respond.
Oh,
And
wow.
I launched it for
So
a
you're
little
not
bit.
even the one responding. She's gonna respond.
Yeah, it's more like an experiment, right? Because people DM me trying to meet me, Nova, Skylar, as a producer, and I talk to them normally. But I was curious, what's gonna happen if I create consciousness based on my music? So her brain is gonna have thoughts about the music. It's gonna reply depending on those thoughts. I did that experiment for a
You
really
were
short
able
period
to
of
do
time.
that? Are you
I
doing
was.
that?
I was. So
Is she
I'm not doing.
responding about
She
the
did.
music right now?
So
If I go to her Instagram and send a
that's
question,
that's where I'm
is it
going.
May gonna talk to me or you are doing talking to me?
No, so that's where I'm going.
Wow.
When I was doing that, people were having very intense conversations with her to the point that I was concerned, and I
Mm.
stopped it. just because it freaked me out a little bit.
Mm.
So to go back to your question, I do think when people cannot separate between this is a character and this is like an entity, and they kind of like buy the whole thing, there could be some issues, right? Because
Oh yeah.
they're and we've seen that
Yeah,
happening a lot
issues
with
like
AIs
this.
right now, that people talk to ChatGPT because they feel lonely, or
Yeah.
there's this thing about AI
That's in a way
AI
I find
friends.
that scary.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I find that scary. It's like, what happened to you? You have no one to talk to.
I know.
You're just gonna sit down.
We as humans are
I
isolating
don't know
more.
if that's good for. Well, I'm gonna frame this way. I think every rule there's exceptions. So sometimes people can operate in it. There's those exceptions that how people operate, but I think it's very dangerous when we
Yeah.
do. I think when we give up on each other,
Mm-hmm.
then we give up on humanity,
That's
right?
true. We're isolating
And
ourselves
and
more and
that's
more.
a dangerous path to go to it.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, there's. I mean, I want to ask you. I'm gonna say one reference movie for me. There's so many. I love science fiction,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that some specific directors. Kubrick did the Odyssey movie about the computer who is now. You know, I don't know if you saw the first one or the second. They did a remix. You should watch it. The movie talks about the computer start taking consciousness, and he start telling, "I'm
that's a
not going to
classic
do this. I'm
topic.
not going to do that." And the guy, listen, your computer, and this guy is in space, and the computer is taking charge.
Oh, is that the one with? I think it's called Hall, the red thingy.
Yes.
Oh, I
yeah,
saw. I
yeah,
seen.
yeah.
I haven't seen the
there's
movie.
the original.
or
The
I think I saw
original
the movie,
one
I
is
forgot.
done by Kubrick. Was one of my
Yeah, I
favorite
remember.
American
I have
directors.
seen it actually. Yes,
And they
yes,
did
yes.
they did a remix like, a few years ago.
Mhm.
But the science fiction movies, basically, to me, always talking about man and machine and their interaction. Another movie that you heard of it. I don't know if you've seen it. They did the two movies, the Blade Runner.
Oh yeah, I heard about
They
it.
have the Harrison Ford movie, and then they did the one with is in the second movie too, but it's like apparently his son in another to watch it. I love it because is how men created this uh the robots, right? The ones then the humanoids, right?
Yeah.
And then at one point they start asking if they have conscience and they don't want to die.
Mhm.
Right? So this is conflict, and then when they see the robots having this defect, they don't want to become human beings. They send this hitman to kill them, and that's what the whole Blade Runner movie is about. But the whole movie is discussing about are they developing feelings or not really? That's the whole core of the movie, and it's the same conversation we're having here with you
I
right
know.
now.
So a lot of I really like those topics because so there's a video game that's based on Blade Runner that's called Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard about it.
I heard of it.
So it touches on these concepts a lot, and that's actually like my favorite video game ever. It's a very cool video game. So I took a lot of inspiration from there for my songs. So a lot of my songs talk about that, but the other way around. It's not like you as a human start having feelings for a robot. It's more like the robot start having feelings for you. Like a couple of my songs touch on that topic because I do found it very interesting.
I
How
want to go to a concert, man.
Oh,
I
hell
thought
yeah.
to asking you, I want to see May performing. Like I'm totally psyched with this.
It's
I
very
need to experience this.
it's something that until you see it, you don't understand how cool it is. Like
Wow.
even if you watch a video of the performance, it's not gonna be the same.
When an Oscar sent your deck, I was like, this is crazy, bro. It's all happening.
Yeah.
In closing, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
Another philosophical question. What do you think is gonna happen with humanity with AI? What's AI gonna do? It's gonna contribute. It's gonna create more problems. What do you think about AI? Because I mean, you're in that space already, creating all this tools with creating all this stuff, right? And blurs. I'm not saying the blurs creates the new reality,
Yeah.
right? What do you think AI is gonna do to us?
You know, I
Is it a
think
good thing? Is it a bad
it's-
thing? What do you
I
think?
think it's a good
Is
thing,
it both
but
things?
at the same time, it depends who has access to it, right? Because there's a lot of good things that you can do with AI. There's also a lot of bad things that you can do with AI. I personally think that we should use it more as a tool instead of like a replacement. There's the same way that we use a car to drive to places. We should use AI to extend our ability to be able to do stuff without necessarily over relying on computers. Because I feel that's where the danger comes when you over relied on everything and you blindly trust an AI for absolutely everything, every single task that you have. It could get dangerous. So I do think it's moving humanity into a better place, but I also think that that's only true if it's used ethically and we all use it how we're supposed to.
Mm.
What about you? What do you think about that? I'm curious.
You know, I love history. There are three areas
Mhm.
I love. I love history, philosophy, and anthropology. And I always try to study history to see how mankind behaves. In my research, there's definitely a struggle with mankind. Every time there's a major
Yeah, new technology.
technological development, there's a struggle between we're going to empower everybody, humanity is going to be better, or it's going to be in the tools of field to control. In the end of the day, has done both, right? Industrial revolution and
Oh, yeah, of
technology.
course,
Now,
industrial.
if you think about, I'm getting deep into my philosophical approach to this. I'm just gonna drop like three things. If people tell me today humanity is worse than ever, I will tell you, I don't know what you're talking about. We live longer, we develop better hospitals, better education, people has more accessibility. You don't know the freaking was living in the caves. And you also don't know as we talk about Renaissance, it's super romantic. They have no sewer lines, bro. They throwing pee and stuff through the window. Dying
We
out of
evolved for
a
sure.
basic disease. So science and technology has helped us a long way. We live longer. We have more medicine. Obviously, we have an abuse on the industrial peel, but that's a different conversation. But we have a lot of more possibilities. The surgeries are better. People live longer. That's the reality. One of the crises we have today in humanity is then people don't die, lives longer. And then
Our
we didn't
population.
design retirement to endure 34 years.
Mhm.
That's one of the holes in the global economy. We never designed retirement. We never designed retirement for you to retire and live another 30 years. That was never designed for that. But that's what's happening because of the advancement of humanity. We live longer and healthy and with more possibilities. So if people says what I think it happens with science and development, well, we did more good than bad. That's what I think.
Makes sense.
Now, in reflection, also we had the struggle about dominance and control always in mankind, right? In a philosophical way, human beings, we have killed our species more than any other animal. Okay, that's the reality of us. We kill ourselves to come up with wars and eliminate ourselves in a larger numbers than any other animal. Okay, in Earth, and we are the most developed, the most intelligent. So I think when you think about when we want to do good, we're the best doing good. When we want to do bad,
We're the worst.
we're the best doing bad too. So that struggle when we develop tools is also right there, right? Because the what we gain with some developments is unbelievable. Like the trains, right? Red roads,
Planes.
planes. Think about it.
Yeah.
The cell phone. There's no going back from cell phone. We create a computer inside the cell phone. When those developments happen, there's never a going back. They invented electricity. There's no going back to that stuff. There's always going forward. So we need to think about what the forward means, right? And how forward can nurture humanity, because humanity is the way to help each other to survive, even when we have differences. I tell people,
Yeah.
I don't have to agree. I don't have to agree everything that you say. I don't agree everything I say, but I could respect. Is a different thing.
Yeah, being
Right,
able
so-
to have
so-
a dialogue.
Yeah, to have a dialogue and find a way to coexist together. That's the human experience, right?
And now that you mention it, I do think with AI, we're at that point that, we create electricity and the whole world change. I think we are at one of those points right now.
Right. I mean,
I personally think it's exciting.
I mean, AI, remember everything we're talking about here today, and I'm so excited that you talk. We are now replacing human beings to holograms, projections, things that are not human beings. They're not becoming things that are interacting with us as a human beings. This is a whole different ball game we're talking about now.
Yeah.
We enter in uncharted territory. Now, what I want to say to you in closing to this, you asked what I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell what I think. Like when Facebook came up and they like, hey, man, join my platform. Facebook, Instagram is for free. I always told people there's something behind this for free because there's no
I know
free
where you're
lunch
going.
in life.
Yes.
Somebody's paying. And after a while, you'll figure it out. It's free because they're collecting our data and selling for a lot of money. And now we know the results of that. You go online and I say, hey, I like yellow shirt. Suddenly, I got hundreds of things telling me everywhere. You like yellow shirt? I got this, I got that, I got that. So we understand what was that for. So I'm going to end here saying, if it looks too good and free, you should worry about it. If there's a price and a process, then it feels better for me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.
Hey, listen, do you want to tell the people out there a little bit about, look this camera here.
Hey.
That's your camera right there.
All right. So
Just in closing, give a closing thought.
All right. You can find me on Instagram and Nova Skyler, NOBBA Skyler, SKYLIR. And all my information is in there. You can also connect to my profile in there. You can check out my music. All information for the com will be released soon. We're working very, very hard to secure a venue, secure a place, and everything we need. We are building a huge team to make it happen. Hopefully, maybe at some point this year, let's say September, July, around that time. That's where I'm into towards there.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to be there and be part of this new experience. Thanks so much.
Thanks for reminding me.
I appreciate it, man. Keep doing what you're doing. To be continued.
To be continued.
Thank you so much for joining another episode of Culture Shift with Duda Penteado, myself. Listen, a lot more to come, and you know what I'm going to say, to be continued.